Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my list of my top 10 players in world football. I am so hyped. I am so excited for today's video, and I hope you guys are as well. But before we get into the ranking, I do have to put this one disclaimer out there because I want to make sure you guys understand what we're doing here. I don't want any misunderstanding, so please comprehend what I'm about to say. Because if I see these comments saying, oh, ball knowledge, what the fuck are you talking about? I promise you I will lose my mind because I'm explaining it right now. This list is not ranking the best players in the 2023-2024 season. Okay, that is not what the title says. We're ranking based on track record as well. So it's not based on form this year. So guys like Boniface for Leverkusen, guys like Guirassy, guys like Lautaro Martinez, guys like Declan Rice, who have been amazing this year, guys like Ollie Watkins are not going to be featured in today's video because they have not been elite for a long enough period of time to be featured in today's video. We're looking at track record as well, like I said. So please understand that. If I see one comment saying, where's Lautaro Martinez? I promise you, I will chop off my fucking nutsack. I swear. I don't want to see that because I'm explaining it now. So please comprehend and understand that. If you guys disagree with my ranking, that's fine. But if you say, where's this guy when I'm already explaining it, I will be kind of upset because I'm already, like I said, I'm explaining it. And just like the fact that I say this now, how mad it's going to make me, I know the top comment is going to be that because you guys love to troll me. But anyway, moving on past that. Some honorable mentions before we get into this. Okay Gundogan, Frenkie de Jong, Fede Valverde, Ronaldo if you want to throw him in there as well. And what else am I missing? That's pretty much it. And Pedri if you want to throw him in there as well. But those are my honorable mentions for today's video. They did not make the cut of the top 10. But yeah, man, this should be pretty exciting. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section. There's going to be a lot of disagreements here obviously, because it's a very polarizing subject. But I do want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And yeah, man, enough of this intro. It's been too long already. Let's start ranking my top 10 players in football. At number 10, it's Lionel Messi. Yes, you heard that correctly. The 36-year-old is number 10 on my list. Now, before you get ready to click off the video and call me a bicycle rider and a Messi meat rider, just listen to me, okay? I can convince you, I promise. How are you going to tell me that the current holder of the Ballon d'Or does not deserve to be in the top 10 players in the world list? This guy literally won the most prestigious honor in world football, individual honor I should say, literally in October. That was 5 months back. He's still that guy. And I understand that he plays for Inter Miami. I don't give a fuck. When I watch Messi play, I still see an elite player. Is he the Messi that he was back in 2017, 2018, 2015 when he was like 24, 25, 26, 30, 31, even 32? No, even 33. No, he's not that same guy. But he's still one of the best players in the world. You cannot convince me otherwise. Every time I watch this man play, I am in awe. Whether it's for Inter Miami, which I get, it's lesser competition, or for Argentina. And let's not forget, this guy, a little bit over a year ago, had simply, arguably, not even simply, had simply to me, the greatest World Cup individual performance of all time. And put some of the best defenders in the world to shame. Like Vardio, okay, when he put him in a fucking blender. And Van Dijk and all those guys. I mean, this guy is still that good. Yeah, is he, like, I think Messi, for me, Messi right now, obviously Messi at his peak when he was like younger, he was A+ at everything, at every single facet in attacking football. Everything, playmaking, shooting, dribbling, he was amazing, A+ at all of them. Now, do I think he's A+? No, he's more like A or A-, but that's still really, really good. And this guy could still single-handedly wreck a game and change a game. And we're going to see it in Copa America. I promise you. You're going to come back to this video when the Copa America is done and Messi gets done winning that trophy back-to-back, obviously going back-to-back Copa America champions and winning another player of the tournament, which would be, what, his 4th now? And you're going to say, wow, I should have listened to Michi. Messi's still that good. Because he is still that good. And people are going to say, where's Ronaldo? Ronaldo's tearing it up in the Saudi League. Most goals this calendar season. Ronaldo has not won a Ballon d'Or since 2017, bro. If Ronaldo was the current recipient of the Ballon d'Or, I'd put him on this list. But he's not that. He hasn't won one in what, 7 years at this point? So he's not on Messi's level right now. Again, I put Ronaldo in my honorable mentions because he has been a good goal scorer. But Messi's still that guy. He's still a top 10 player in the world. Look, am I being a little generous putting him in the top 10? Yes, I think you could put Messi anywhere inside the top 15. But if you put him anywhere outside your top 15, you're smoking crack. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, you're smoking crack. It's just, it's impossible to put this guy anywhere outside your top 15. And honestly, he's got to be in your top 10 in my opinion because, again, I understand he plays for Inter Miami, a non-competitive league, and guys like Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka and all these guys do it in the Premier League and the Champions League, which is obviously the highest level of competition. But Messi, he's still, I mean, to me, you put Messi in that Man City team, he's doing what, they're winning everything like they are with Phil Foden. You put Messi at Arsenal, they're winning everything, even at this age. You put Phil Foden and Inter Miami, they're not winning shit, bro. And Messi actually won Inter Miami their first trophy in how many fucking years? I think in their history. He's still carrying those bums at Inter Miami. He's still carrying Argentina every time he plays. Every time I watch Inter Miami and Messi doesn't play, I realize how important this guy is. He's still toying with defenders even at an advanced age. So for me, again, I understand it's going to be like probably the biggest point of contention in this video, and I understand it's going to be very polarizing putting Messi at number 10. But I do believe if you watch him play, he's still a top 10 player in the world. And like I said, the current recipient of the Ballon d'Or, I cannot put him anywhere outside the top 10. And honestly, I debated him putting him in my top 5. but I don't want you guys to have like a fucking civil war in the comment section, so I just left him at number 10. But yeah, Messi still to me a top 10 player in the world, no question about it. At number 9, it's the Frenchman Antoine Griezmann, who continues to be one of the most underappreciated players of my lifetime. When he was at his peak, he would get overshadowed by guys like Benzema and Ronaldo and Lewandowski and Messi and Suarez and Neymar and Bale. And now that those guys kind of phased out, he's getting overshadowed by the younger crop, like Haaland and Mbappe and Bellingham and Vinicius and all those guys, which is so sad to see. But this guy quietly has been a top 10 player in the world for the past 3 seasons. And he's obviously been top 10 for me for the past decade, honestly. But these past 3 years, he's been so good, bro. At the World Cup in Qatar, was arguably France's best player. Everybody talks about Kylian Mbappe in that World Cup, and rightfully so, because he was fantastic. But Griezmann was right there with him as the best player on that team that obviously lost some penalties in the final. And then second half of the season for Atletico Madrid last year was utterly unplayable. One of the best players on form in Europe, if not the best, for the second half of the season. And now this year, quietly having a fantastic season. I say quietly because people don't really talk about Antoine Griezmann. He has 19 goals and 7 assists in all comps. 26 GA in all comps. He can play it on the wing. He can play as a 10. His football IQ is so elite. He's such an amazing dribbler and playmaker, and he has an amazing shot as well. I mean, this guy, Atletico Madrid would be lost without Antoine Griezmann. He's so good, bro. I wish we had this Antoine Griezmann at Barca right now. I cannot believe we let him go for so cheap. We thought Griezmann was washed after playing at Barca because we played him out of position, obviously, out on the wing, which is not obviously where he operates better centrally, as we see with Atletico Madrid now, which is obviously where he operates for that team, and he's so good, man. I wish we had this Griezmann for us, but man, Griezmann is amazing. He's so good, and I think this guy is really gonna get the shot, and like he's gonna get the appreciation he deserves. Sorry, after his career is over, because this guy, man. I mean, one of the best players of this generation, 100%, and to me, he's still a top 10 player in the world, and that's why I'm putting him at number 9. At number 8, it's the Brazilian Vinicius Jr. This guy's so good, bro. He gives me nightmares. Honestly, he does. He's so elite. I hate the fact that we're going to have to face up against this guy for the next decade. He's been one of the best players in the world for the past 3 seasons, and I have no doubt in my mind Vinicius Jr. at some point in his career will win a Ballon d'Or. Is he too low on this list? Yes. But when I see the guys above him, I don't know if I can put him above those guys right now, but he's so good, man. I mean, this year, quietly having a fantastic year because he's missed long parts of the season. Like he's been injured for good chunks of the season, obviously, but he still quietly has 18 goals and 8 assists in all comps, 26 GA. Out on the wing, he's such a mismatch against any fullback you put him up against. Obviously, we have to suffer this year as Barcelona fans watching him score a hat-trick against us in the Super Cup final. But I could easily put Vini inside the top 5. Or, yeah, inside the top 5. I could easily put Vini inside the top 5 because he's that good. I mean, obviously, 2 years back, that UCL run for Real Madrid was a top 5 player for them, along with Benzema and Courtois and Modric. I mean, this guy, at such a young age, scoring in a UCL final, was amazing against Chelsea, was amazing against, obviously, Liverpool in that final, like I mentioned, scoring a goal and just being unplayable. Last year was fantastic. I mean, he really carried that. Like, Benzema was not great last year, and Vinicius Jr. really carried that attack for Real Madrid. Obviously, we know the goal against Man City and the semifinal, that banger that he scored. This year, like I said, has been fantastic, despite missing big chunks of the season. So for me, Vini, man, arguably the best winger in world football right now. I don't think he's quite the best. I think there's one guy that's above him, but this guy's like for sure going to be in that conversation, in my opinion. Because, not even in my opinion, in football fans' opinion. Because if you watch football, you understand how good Vinicius Jr. is. Even as a rival fan, I gotta admit this guy he's unplayable, bro. So for me, he's going to go into number 8. Vini is so good. At number 7, it's Mr. Let Me Talk, Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne continues to be one of the best players in the world, and he has been really for the past 7 years or 8 years, honestly. This guy's so good. One of the best Premier League midfielders of all time. Obviously, he missed a large chunk of the season because of an injury. He came back in December. And, you know, he came back in the summertime, like in December, January. And he had that game against Newcastle when he first came back where he was fucking amazing. We're like, oh my God, KDB's back. And he hasn't been that same guy throughout the majority of the season when he's come back. I mean, he hasn't been elite level Kevin De Bruyne, in my opinion. But he's still been, like, even without all that being said, he's so good. He's still been one of the best players in the Premier, in my opinion, in the time that he's been back. Because De Bruyne is simply, honestly, one of the best final third players I've ever seen. This guy in the final third, especially his final third passes, are unstoppable, bro. And that connection between him and Erling Haaland is unstoppable as well. Last year was arguably the best player on a treble-winning team, obviously. The previous year was amazing, the best player on a Premier League winning team. I mean, what can you really say about Kevin De Bruyne? We all know how good this guy is. He continues to show that he's one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen. Not just midfielders, but one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen. And this year, I believe that if Man City make a run at the UCL, which obviously they can because they're Man City, I believe it will be in large part because of Kevin De Bruyne and the fact that he came back into that team. Because we saw that team, like earlier in the year, they were losing games where they usually don't lose because they didn't have KDB. And now that, like I said, he's been back, he hasn't been really elite, or like, when I say elite, I mean like elite for Kevin De Bruyne standards. I'm not talking about like compared to other guys. For Kevin De Bruyne, he hasn't been that elite in my opinion, apart from that game against Newcastle and some other games here and there. But he's still been really, really good. And I think that if Man City make a run at anything this year, it'll be because of KDB and the fact that this guy can just, he's a cheat code in the final third, progress the ball forward, play those long balls, he can recycle possession, he can do everything you want a player to do. And yeah, to me, he's going to go into number 7. This guy's still so good. At number 6, it's Rodri. Yes, a fucking pivot is making my top 6 players in the world. I don't think that's ever happened before. Maybe Busquets in his prime, but I don't think Busquets was ever in anybody's top 10. Maybe he should have been, but he was never in the top 10 for anybody. And Rodri is in this list for me. My boy So King Jack, shout out to you, Jack, who's obviously one of my most loyal subs here on YouTube. He always talks about how Rodri is the best player in the world. I love you, Jack, but I don't believe that whatsoever. I think he's in the top 6 though. Because this guy, what he's been able to do for the past 4 or 5 seasons is honestly incredible. Especially the last 3. I mean, this guy's insane. Again, similar to KDB. I mean, this guy, KDB, Haaland, De Bruyne. The biggest X factors in Man City being the most dominant team in the world for the past 2 years. And really De Bruyne and Rodri, before Haaland even got there, were, like, to me, the biggest X factors. And what this guy does going forward as a fucking pivot is insane. And defensively, he's gotten a lot better this year as well. He has his weaknesses defensively, especially in transition. But this year, he's gotten a lot better at it. And what this guy does, I mean, scoring important goals. His outside of the box shooting is insane. Last year was obviously amazing. Was pivotal for that Man City team, scoring the goal against Bayern Munich in the first leg at the Etihad, scoring the goal in Istanbul against Man City to win Man City their first UCL in their history. I mean, you really can't say anything about Rodri. Arguably Man City's most important player, the guy who holds it all together. He handles everything in that first phase of the build-up for Man City. Everything goes through that guy. The center backs, you get the ball, you pass it to fucking Rodri, and he's going to progress the ball forward. He's going to recycle possession. He's going to control the tempo. He's going to do anything you want a player to do because he's that good. And this guy's just, I mean, he's insane. He is insane. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a pivot be ranked that high. And I think most people, if you ask most football fans, Rodri's going to be in their consensus top 10 because this guy, like I said, is utterly unplayable. And I think when it's all said and done, we're looking at one of the top 3 greatest pivots this game has ever seen. I don't think he'll ever be number 1 for me because obviously Busquets, I might be biased because he holds a soft spot in my heart because I love him. Obviously a Barca legend. And I think maybe that's like my stubbornness won't let me put him ahead of Busquets. But I definitely think he'll be in the top 3 because what this guy does, both going forward and defensively, we have not seen in a very, very long time, if not ever. So for me, Rodri, like I said, amazing. Going to be number 6. At number 5, we have Mohamed Salah. This guy is insane, bro. An output machine. And has been a top 5 player in the world for the past 7 years. You want to know if someone truly knows football? Ask them about Mohamed Salah and what they think of him. And if they say he's overrated, they have no idea what they're talking about. This guy, when it's all said and done, will be a top 5 player in Premier League history if he's not already. Last season, quietly, which was apparently a down year for him, I heard by some people, he had 30 goals and 13 assists in all comps. This year, 23 goals and 13 assists in all comps, or something crazy like that. Constantly double-digit goals and assists. And by the way, if it wasn't for Darwin Núñez fucking missing chances left and right, I love Darwin, but he does miss a lot of chances. Mohamed Salah will, no joke, be on 20 assists. He's been that good this year. An elite player. What can he do out on that wing? Literally, what can he do? He's an amazing playmaker. He can take players on one-on-one. He can drift inside. He can shoot on goal. He can do anything you want a player to do. This guy is so good, man. I cannot believe how some people don't rate this guy. One of the best wingers in the world. One of the best wingers in the history of football. This guy was competing with the likes of Messi and Ronaldo in their peak, and now he's competing with the likes of Bellingham and Mbappe and Haaland in their peak. Timeless, man. Timeless player. And to me, people say, oh, Salah's better, De Bruyne is better than Salah. No, he's not. He's simply not. Salah's better than De Bruyne. Argue with your mom. He is. He can do, I'm not going to say, actually, yeah, he can do more things at an elite level than De Bruyne, in my opinion. And he can just change a game in a way that I've never seen before. Very few guys in the history of football can change a game and have an impact on a game like Mohamed Salah can. We saw him come in against Man City. I mean, what he did against Man City coming off the bench was fantastic. I mean, what this guy continues to do, even what is he now, like 31 or 32, whatever he is, he's definitely over 30. It's just elite men. And to me, Van Dijk, Salah, those guys are the reason why Liverpool's still contending for at a high level for those trophies, and obviously in Jurgen Klopp's last year. And yeah, to me, Mohamed Salah is going to be number 5. Still one of the best players in the world, no debate about that. At number 4, we have Jude Bellingham. I know I said this was not just going to be based on like this season form, and you could argue Jude Bellingham's only elite, like really elite season has been this season, but this guy, you got to put him in the top 4. He's top 5 for me in the world because what this guy's done his first season at Real Madrid is second to none. It's second to none. It's Ronaldo-esque, honestly. He's broken most of Ronaldo's records like in their first season at Real Madrid. And like he's an elite attacking player. He can even track back and he's elite defensively. He can play as a 10. He can play as an 8. Fuck it, you can play him as a 6 if you want to, and he could still be elite. I mean, I've seen this guy lose the ball in the final third and then track back and win the ball back and then fucking carry the ball forward and provide an assist or score a goal. His positioning is elite. His awareness is elite. His passing is elite. His dribbling is elite. I mean, he's a tall guy. Is he the best dribbler in the world? No, but for being such a tall guy, I mean, the way he contorts his body is amazing, man. Look, man, I said Jude Bellingham was going to be a flop, and then the English tax was real with him. I was very wrong about Jude Bellingham. And this season, if it was based on this year, he'd be number 1 for me because he's been amazing. Second half of the season this year, he's kind of slowed down in terms of goals and assists. But if you watch him play, which I watch Real Madrid obviously because they're our rivals, and I watch the Liga, he's still been amazing, man. He's still been he's been Real Madrid's best player this year. And the fact that they got him for 100 million is looking like a bargain. The fact that we're talking about Jude Bellingham, like they bought him for 100 million, it's looking like a bargain because this guy's that good. So for me, it pains me to say because again, he's a rival player, and I wanted to be right about him being a flop because everybody wants to be right about their prediction. Maybe that prediction came out of bitterness for me because obviously for Real Madrid and like they're signing this guy. I wish Barca could sign guys like this, but obviously we're broke. But anyway, moving on past that. I am happy to say the future of football and La Liga especially is in safe hands with this guy because, like I said, he's amazing, and I think in like next year he'll probably be top 2 or top 3, no question about it. I almost put him in my top 3 this year, but I think my top 3 guys, which you guys obviously can guess probably already, are just a little bit better right now in my opinion. But this guy's, and I also have a better track record as well. But this guy's just amazing. But Real Madrid fans, you have a gem on your hands. At number 3, we have Harry Kane. Poor Harry Kane, bro. First season outside of Spurs, and it looks like he's not going to win a trophy. Obviously, we know Bayern are in the quarterfinals with the UCL playing against Arsenal, but I think Arsenal will win that time. Even if they get through against Arsenal, I don't think they can beat Man City or Real Madrid, but whatever. But they can obviously still win the UCL, but I don't think it's likely. The Bundesliga, it's done, and obviously they're knocked out of the DFB Pokal, but Harry Kane is not going to be the reason why Bayern Munich do not win a trophy this year. This guy has been the most prolific goal scorer in Europe this season. I think he has 37 goals and 37 appearances for Bayern Munich, and his assists are obviously super high as well. And this guy's been fantastic, bro. Goes to a new league, obviously a weaker league than the Premier League, but still tearing it up. He is tearing it up. His playmaking is good. I think I overrated Harry Kane's playmaking a little bit. When I watch him this year for Bayern Munich and the way that he drops deep sometimes and tries to play those balls, like he tries to play those messy balls, like on the half turn and just like over the top of the defense, over the top of the fullbacks, and try to get those wingers in behind. I see him play those balls and I'm like, oh shit, bro, you're not as good as a playmaker as I thought, and definitely not as good as long passing as I thought. I mean, Harry Kane is still a really, really good playmaker, one of the best playmaking strikers of this generation for sure. But when I see him this year, I don't think he's that elite like I thought he was. I think I overrated it a little bit. But this guy, I mean, you don't pay a guy like Harry Kane to play make for you. You pay him to score the goals, and that's what he's doing this year, man. And as a finisher, he's still probably the best in Europe, in my opinion. I mean, this guy in front of goal is extremely deadly. In the air, he's deadly. And obviously, for England, he's amazing. For Bayern Munich, he's amazing. And yeah, I mean, the Kane curse is very real. I mean, Bayern Munich, like I said, are not going to win a trophy this year. And we'll see if England win the Euros. Hopefully, England win the Euros for Harry Kane, because if he doesn't win anything with Bayern Munich and he loses the Euros as well, with that England team, it's going to be, I mean, this guy, no one's going to want to get near him. It's going to be like a black cat. Like, it's bad luck every time you get near Harry Kane. But I think for me, Harry Kane is still a fantastic player. I just think the two guys above him are on a different level right now, because the two above them are next up, in my opinion, as the next Messi or Ronaldo, if you want to call it that. At number 2, it's Erling Haaland. People think Erling Haaland is washed this year. Listen to this. He's missed 6 games in the Prem. He's still the top goal scorer in the Prem. He's still the top goal scorer with 18 goals. And he has 29 goals this season. And Erling Haaland fell off. That's crazy. That's how good this guy is. He's a fucking goal machine, man. Look, man, I had my Erling Haaland agenda when obviously he was going up against Messi for the Ballon d'Or. Now that that's done, I actually really love Erling Haaland. He's one of my favorite players in football. I really like watching Erling Haaland play. And I think that the hate that he gets is so stupid, bro. This guy's elite. He does the hardest thing to do in football better than basically anybody else except for a couple guys. And you could argue he does it better than anybody, honestly. As a finisher, there's no one like Erling Haaland. So versatile. And in transition, he's fucking deadly, bro. He's so deadly. And this guy was that way at Salzburg. He was that way at Dortmund. He's been that way at Man City since he got there. Last year could have won the Ballon d'Or, won the treble, was Man City's most important player in some of the biggest games that they played. Obviously didn't score in the final in Istanbul, did not score in the semifinals. That's fine. Did not score in the FA Cup final. I get that. But what this guy does, what he provides for his team is second to none, man. And his movement off the ball is one of the best I've ever seen from a striker. This guy is better than a lot of your favorite strikers in history already. He is, really, believe me, he is. He's better than Zlatan already. Shout out to Zispalms on TikTok. He posted that video and he said that Erling Haaland's better than Agüero already. I agree, he's better than Agüero. He is already better than Agüero. Is he better than Ruud van Nistelrooy? No, but he will be at some point. And you can honestly argue he is already. I think he's better than Didier Drogba ever was. I think his peaks. I mean, this kid's only 23 years old, and is already one of the he's almost in the top 10 of. I think he's already in the top 10 UCL goals scored of all time. Unplayable, bro. Yes, sometimes he's not the best playmaker. Yes, sometimes he's so big and physical. It kind of works his detriment because he can't really dribble like Mbappe or like Messi could because he's 6'5", bro. I mean, what do you expect? You expect this guy to be Messi on the ball when he's 6'5"? No. But what you can like his strengths, he uses them as well as any striker I've ever seen. So for me, Erling Haaland is going to be number 2. I think he's the best player on that city team, and I think he's the second best player in the world. He's not a top-end merchant. Yes, he scores top-ends, but his positioning is elite, and he also scores some fucking wonder goals as we've seen this year. Again, a down season for Erling Haaland, his top scorer in the Prem, still with 6 games missed. Keep that in mind, 6 games missed, and also 29 goals in all comps. Elite player, elite striker, best striker in the world right now, if you want to call him that, because the next guy, you can consider him a striker, but I don't really consider him a striker, even though he's like a hybrid player. Obviously, I'm talking about Mbappe. Mbappe's number 1. Spoiler alert, Mbappe's number 1. Obviously, you guys all fucking knew that already. But yeah, to me, Haaland's number 2. This guy's, he's going to win multiple Ballon d'Ors in his career. I know that. And at number 1, obviously, I spoiled it already, but you guys knew before the video even started, it's Kylian Mbappe, man. Is there anybody better? He's Messi in his peak. He's Patrick Mahomes right now. He's LeBron in his peak. He's number 1. Everybody else is fighting for second place. Everybody. All your favorite players that are not Mbappe, they're fighting for second place. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's true. League on tax, all this shit. He's the best player in the world when he plays at the World Cup. Or behind Messi, second best. He turns up at every single UCL game. He scored at the Etihad. He scored at the Bernabeu. He scored at Allianz Arena. That's that guy. He's that guy, bro. I'm glazing a guy who's about to go to our biggest rivals, and I don't give a fuck because this guy's that good. You're watching. Do not scratch your eyes. You're watching a generational talent at work. This is a guy who's gonna go down as a top 10 player at worst this game has ever seen. And the moment he moves to Real Madrid, he'll win a Ballon d'Or instantly. He'll win everything he has to win instantly. And people will start respecting this guy's name. I saw a video by that fucking Chelsea fan. I don't know what his name is, but he used to be on the True Geordie show. I think it's Roy. I think his name is Roy. I'll look it up. I think Roy or Rory, one of the two. You guys know who I'm talking about. And he was talking about how Kylian Mbappe is overrated because he hasn't done it in the Premier League. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Do you actually watch football? Do you watch this guy play? Do you understand how much of a mismatch he is for every single player in the world? Do you understand how elite he is at every single facet of attacking football? Do you understand how good he is in the final third? Do you understand how good at playmaking he is? Do you understand how he can take players on one-on-one? Do you understand how direct he is as a player? Do you understand that this guy was in a front three with Neymar and Messi? He looked like the best player on that front three. I mean, you don't. Kylian Mbappe is a once in a 150 years player, and football is in safe hands with this guy. Is he my favorite guy? No, but I can't deny the greatness. And to me, yeah, Kylian Mbappe is going to go into number 1, far and away the best player in the world, in my opinion. And if you disagree, then start watching a different sport because no one is close to this guy right now. Nobody. And that, guys, is the end of my top 10 players in football. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love every single one of you. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section. Please, I'd love to hear. These are the type of videos that I make because I want to debate with you guys in the comment section. I want you guys to have a conversation down there. So let me know in the comment section again. If you want to put your top 10 down there and I can review it, I'll be more than happy to do that. Actually, we can make that a video. Oh, new video idea. Drop your top 10 if you want in the comment section of this video or in my Discord, and I'll go through and I'll rate you guys' top 10 players in the world list. If you guys want to do that, then let me know. And yeah, we can do that in the comment section if you guys want to drop that. But yeah, man, outro, sorry, is already long enough as it is. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.